Hey everybody, this is the Bat Hound, sniffing out the best ASA softball bats there are. Welcome to another episode of Bat Hound Interviews. Today we have a special guest, Brandon Street. Hey Brandon, thanks for joining us. Looking forward to kind of hearing some of the thoughts you have on softball, some of the tips. You've been able to play at the highest level, so I trust you have a lot to help us all out with.
Yes, sir. I hope I can help.
So tell us. Let's just start off. Tell us a little bit about yourself. How you got into softball. Where you're playing at now?
Okay. So I started playing softball in 2011. One of my really good buddies, named D. McDonald, asked me to come out and play in some league, and I always tell this story. I laughed at him when he said it. I thought he was joking. I said, grown men actually play an underhand game where they floated in there. Like that's a real thing. You guys do that? And he said, yeah, that's a lot of fun. So I went out and tried it and fell in love with it. And so this last season, I was fortunate enough to get to play for Anarchy, and when we won A Worlds, that was a blast. One of the most fun times I've ever had playing. And for this upcoming season, I've signed with Competitive Edge, and really, really excited about playing with that group of guys.
Yeah, great. And last year also, you won a major award last year in softball. Tell us about that.
I was fortunate enough to win the batting title, highest on base percentage in the conference. So that was pretty big accomplishment for me. I'm pretty happy about that. A lot of hard work went into that, and so it felt good. Felt good winning that award and getting that.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, congratulations.
Sir, thank you.
Especially, you said 2011, so that was in 11 years. You made it from first game to winning the batting title.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, I didn't. When I first joined softball, I didn't even know that the conference existed or that there was professional softball. I had no idea how big it was. It was just something fun to do. Play ball with my buddies, and at one point, I found out that there was a higher level, and so. When I had seen that and seen some of those guys hit and how they play, I guess the rest is history from there. I always wanted to. So,
yeah, it's great. Now you even have your own bat.
It's
the Anarchy Street.
That's a good looking bat. That thing's decent.
Yeah, it sure is. I love the graphics. Being like we were talking before, I lived in Chicago for a number of years, and it's just fantastic graphics on that.
Yeah, awesome graphics. They got the skyline in the background. It's really cool. Cool.
So this is the ASA model, which I play, and then there's also the USSSA model.
Yep.
Now this is a one-piece bat, 12.5-inch barrel, 1 ounce end load. Tell us a little bit about why you go with that specs. Why you like swinging a bat like that?
So traditionally, I've always swung a 2-piece coming up, and I just never really liked the feel of the 1-piece. I guess I kind of just got accustomed to it, swinging that piece and using that flex in the middle. But this past season with Anarchy, it was actually Leaf Nemo who suggested it to me. He said, "Hey, with your size and your type of swing, why don't you try this 1-piece?" And he had a 1-piece over there with an end load on it. And so I tried it, and sure enough, I hated it right away, as I always did, 1-piece, because I was missing. I was hitting everything off the end cap. I was so early. I was so used to that 2-piece flex coming through. But he said, "Hey, just give it a chance." And here's why. I kind of explained it to him. It made sense. I don't know why something that Leaf says ever makes sense, but for some reason, that actually made sense. So, but yeah, just work with it a little bit, and after I got comfortable with it, I've seen a lot of gains using that 1-piece over using the 2-piece that I wasn't able to get in the past. So I kind of fell in love with it. Leaf was right.
So there's no going back to the 2-piece for you, huh?
Yeah, and it feels so bad to admit that, because Leaf is just you don't want to believe anything that he says is right. So.
Nice. Yeah, actually, right now for Anarchy bats, that's my number one. That's my favorite. What's interesting is this 26 ounce on the sticker scales at 25.7, so it actually scales under. But with that 1 ounce end load, it just feels wonderful, and it's really smooth through the zone. And then my second would be the Nemo, so Leaf's bat, which is just only difference being the 1/2 ounce end load. But I've absolutely loved those, and I don't know what it is, but I feel like they broke in a little bit faster this year than some of the previous Anarchy bats. I know they were trying some different stuff, I guess, with them, but it's a great swinging bat there.
Yeah. Are you so I got a question for you. That 26 that you're swinging, are you liking how that's feeling coming through the zone? Does it swing like a true 26, or do you feel like it swings a little different?
So I feel like I guess I would say it feels pretty normal to me.
Okay.
As a for like an Anarchy 26, maybe on the little bit lighter because I think
Okay.
I was expecting it to swing a little bit heavier with the 1 ounce end load. So I have
Right.
a buddy who swings the Nemo. He feels like this swings a lot heavier for him. And it's a 26. This is a 26. But I can't really tell the difference. But he declares that this swings a lot heavier. So, but I feel like they
Okay.
feel pretty similar. My Nemo is 26.0 on the scale, so
Okay.
it's actually a little bit heavier. So to me, they kind of balance out. But with that 1 ounce end load, I feel like that really comes through the zone for me and gives me that little extra edge.
Right. Yes. Yes. Yeah. The that extra end load coming through, like you say, you can really feel the difference.
Yeah.
I tell guys almost it feels like it swings itself. Once you get the head going, it feels like it swings itself.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
So
I've had a lot of guys tell me that that the streets bat feels heavier because of that end load.
Okay. Yeah.
So just curious on your take on that. Because I was getting a lot of feedback saying, well, it swings like, if they were swinging a 26, they're saying, well, it swings like a 26 and a half or a 27. It's heavier.
Okay.
But it is a good end load in there.
Yeah. I agree. I like it. So tell us then. So 11 years, you've gone from your first game to playing at the highest level. I'm assuming you've made some adjustments along the way. I mean, most people do. I suppose some people are just totally natural. But if there are any adjustments, tell us. Any adjustments that you felt like you made, especially going into this last year, that you felt like might have really helped to attribute to this. I mean, just such a great, successful year.
Yeah. So I would say just kind of over the years, coming up, I had to learn how to play the game. Definitely when you're not playing in the conference, you got to be mindful of your home runs. You can't just swing away and burn all those home runs. So you got to learn how to play the game. So that's what I did coming up was, I'd get on the tee. I would do a lot of tee work. That was my main thing. Was just a lot of tee work. I would take way more tee work than I would live BP.
Okay.
Move the tee around, working on different pitches in the zone, just trying to figure out my swing and figure out what works best for me. So, I would, try to play the game and try to save those home runs, really become a good, well-rounded hitter and hit it all over the field because guys are going to shift on you. Guys are going to try to take away your strengths. So if your strengths are everywhere on the field, they got to play you straight up and then, things really open up for you. So, when I was playing, I think 2018, 2019, I played with my boys from Swing Kings. And that was kind of my breakout year, in my opinion, where I feel like that I made jumps to really get into softball seriously. So that was the first time that I ever traveled down to Vieira to playing B Worlds, and then they have the major going on at the same time. So I would go over to the stadium and I watched those big major guys play. I just remember sitting in the stands of the stadium, just watching those guys hit and seeing what they do and just trying to learn from them and learn, what do they do that is different from what we do at the B level here. So like I said, I would just try to steal little things from them and watch how they hit. And then I'd take it back home with me and I'd get on the tee and I'd just go work. So, adjustments that I had made over the years were, when I get into the conference, you get more home runs. So you have a little bit more freedom to just kind of let it fly and hit the ball hard. I found out that my best swing is just when I swing hard, when I try to hit it hard. And, don't dial it down too much or try to place it or put it anywhere. Just pick your hole or pick your side and drive that ball through there. So learning to hit the ball hard through holes and learning to hit the ball hard into gaps. You find out that you actually have some pretty good misses that way. You miss hit a home run or you miss hit a top hand that goes over the infield for a single or a double. So over the years, I feel like that's kind of a big thing that I've worked on is just trying to hit the ball hard all over the field, and just train myself actually for to have good misses, because you're not gonna strike the ball perfectly every single time. You're gonna have misses, especially in the conference. These pitchers are really, really good. I mean, they're phenomenal. We got a lot of guys out there that can actually make you miss. So you kind of got to plan and prepare for that. Like, hey, I'm going to have some misses sometimes. So when you do have misses, if you can try to get them to fall for hits, then obviously that helps your average a lot. So
yeah, I like that. I've never heard that phrase, training to have good misses.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what is it about tee work that you feel like is so helpful as opposed to getting on doing just live pitching?
So for me, I only use live BP just for my timing and my rhythm. That's literally all I use it for. Anything else that I want to work on, if I'm actually trying to fix something or build something in my swing, it's going to get done on the tee. The live BP is more of the just kind of putting it all together and finding the right rhythm, for what you just worked on. So what I like about the tee is, the ball doesn't move. It's really easy to hit. So
yeah.
I was like, man, when I'm hitting tee, I wish that we could just do this in the game. I'd bet 1,000 probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, so seriously though, when the ball's on the tee and it's not moving, let's say you're really struggling with a pitch, or you're really struggling with hitting a hole or a gap. You can put that ball there, and you can literally just work that same pitch over and over and over.
Sure, yeah.
That's the best way to get your muscle memory down. So that's what I'll do. I'll put the ball all over the zone. I'll put it high, low, deep, short. And when I'm hitting, I'm looking for feedback. So hitting in the cage is great, but it's hard to get feedback because you can't really see that result. The net cuts the ball off before it actually lands. So so I like to go out to an open field or go out to the park and set up and hit. Sometimes you can put up cones. I've done cones or markers before if I'm working on hitting a hole, but for the majority of the time, I'm just going to go hit, and I'm going to work on those gaps. And so when you hit off the tee, you're hitting that same pitch every single time. You're looking for your feedback. Is it doing what you want it to do? Or is it not doing what you want it to do? Are you missing? And then when you're missing, how are you missing? Where are you missing? That's where you make your adjustments at. So
I see.
If I'm trying to hit a ball in the right center gap, and I keep rolling over and topping it and hitting it up the middle and hitting it to the second baseman, like, why is that happening? There's a reason why that happens. So then from there, I'll just kind of make that adjustment and try to do something to fix it, and then until I get the result that I want to. Once you get that result, over and over and over again until you can't miss anymore.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, that makes sense. Is there anything currently that you're working on to improve?
Currently, actually, I'm working on getting my rhythm down right now. It was good. We just had a good BP session. Me and Zirkle were out there today hitting. My boy Noah came into town on vacation, so he drove over there and hit with us, and it was good. We had a really good session this morning. Basically, I'm just working on that rhythm right now because I've been doing tee work, not the whole off season, but the off season I've been just doing a ton of tee work. I've been in the cage a lot, and I've hit some on the field. My swing feels pretty good right now, so it was good to get out and get some live today because my rhythm's just not there yet. It's just a matter of time. Just get some more swings in. It'll be there. So just kind of felt like my timing's off a little bit, and so getting those live swings, or try to tighten the screws up on that a little bit.
Now I'm assuming you've probably felt a slump coming on, or the fears of it. I mean, I don't know how you felt like actually this year as people are talking about you're at the top of the list, and there's got to be some pressure, and all of a sudden you have a game that doesn't feel as good. But anyhow, like when you feel a slump coming on, or maybe something's coming on, what have you done to like try to curb that or limit that so you can kind of press forward?
Actually, that's nice you mentioned that, because that reminds me of back when I first started playing in 2011 and 2012. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea. I was playing with a bunch of guys who had played softball for years. They were some veterans of the game. They had a lot of knowledge, and so I tried to learn a lot from them. And when I found that I was missing, well, first of all, it was mental. I'm usually me personally, when I'm missing, it's because it's mental. I'm thinking too much, or I'm trying to do too much, or I'm trying to be too fine. When in reality, my best swing is to just let it fly, drive through that ball. So if I feel a slump coming on, that's automatically what I go to. I think, okay, am I thinking too much? Am I trying to do too much? Another thing too, I get to the point where I can kind of look at my misses like, how am I missing? Am I rolling over? Am I grounding out? Am I under? Am I popping up? And then I can pretty much figure out from there why that's happening. But the best way that I've found to fix a slump for me is I had one of my good buddies tell me back in the day I was slumping real bad in a tournament. And he said, don't worry about our home runs. Don't worry about trying to get a hit or put it through a hole or anything like that. I just want you to see the first good strike and hit it as hard as you can. I don't care where it goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I just, and at that point, you're frustrated beyond max because, you're 0 for 11. You haven't gotten a hit today.
Yeah.
And, you're just so frustrated. So when somebody tells you something like that, to hit the ball as hard as you can, it's like, okay, I can do that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Luckily, I squared that ball up when he said it and ended up hitting a home run to center field. And just the way that it felt was really, really good. I squared the ball up, drove through it. I didn't think. I just let it fly. My swing was free and easy. Everything was relaxed. So from then on, I learned that, okay, if I'm slumping, you need to take more of that approach. Just let it fly, get back to basics. I mean, because that's what you're going to do on the tee. You're just going to let it fly. If you miss, you miss. Who cares? Nobody's around. So if you kind of get back to that mental mindset, that's the quickest way for me to break out of my slumps when I have one. So
yeah, that's good. It is incredibly frustrating because, like you said, it's just this. I'm just an old man trying to hit this ball that's floating in there. It's like, how do I keep missing, man? How does that happen? Yeah, but that's really good. I mean, it's so easy to start thinking about it, and you just like, maybe if I adjust this, adjust that, but if you just go up and let it go, I like that.
Especially if you're, if you're not able to do something that's part of your game, like one of your strengths. If you're a guy that's really good at going backside and dumping it down the line or hitting a gap, and then you're missing there.
Right.
I mean, that's just frustrating. So I mean, that's what you do best. So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point. So how do you hold the bat these days?
Funny you mentioned. So now I'm going to drop a finger on my bottom hand and drop a finger on my top hand. Okay. Well. I'm kind of like a 3-and-3 like that. When I first started playing, I just grabbed the bat like I grabbed it in baseball. Boom.
Yeah.
Just good old baseball grip, nothing over the knob. And then when I got, a little bit further in my career and got a little bit stronger, I was able to kind of just gradually, year after year, I'd drop one finger down here.
Okay.
And, then I try, okay, well, why don't I try to drop one more here? And then at the beginning of last season, when I signed with Anarchy, I had actually dropped 2 more. So it was like a 3 on the bottom and a 2 on the top like that.
Yeah.
And I could do it. I got some really, really good whip out of the bat. I mean, I was hitting the ball hard and I was hitting it real far. But the thing that I found was I was having a lot more misses as well. So I lost a lot of bat control when I dropped that ring finger down. So what I did was I started just doing a little research and just watching some guys. Like I would watch hitters who I felt like were kind of similar to me. So I watched like Josh Riley, I watched Ryan Harvey, I would watch Matusik, Bubba Mack, like just bigger, stronger guys that hit the ball. Ryan Harvey was one of the main guys that I watched. I want to see like what does this guy do? How does he hold his bat and hit the ball that hard and hit it that far?
Yeah.
And I believe Ryan Harvey is a knob. He might be ring finger on the bottom, but I know for sure he's down here with pinky and ring finger as well. Okay. So, and Matusik is, I believe Matusik is like just traditional baseball grip. I mean, he might drop a pinky on the knob. But I think he's pretty much, that traditional baseball grip. So thing I learned from it is like, if you're a bigger, stronger guy that's got those higher swing speeds, you don't need to drop all these fingers and try to get all this extra whip out of the battle. You already have the power. You already have that whip.
Right. Yeah.
So, for me personally, I find I was having a lot more misses when I drop that finger. So I come back up and just drop that pinky down. So I'm going 3 and 3 like this, and I got good back control. I can grip it well. I'm not going to lose control of it or anything like that. And I'm still hitting the ball really, really hard. And I did some radar gun tests as well, and there was not much a difference at all. I mean, just dropping that one extra finger, I might on a few have gotten 1 to 2 miles per hour higher, maybe. But when you think about it, it's like the pros don't weigh the cons there. I'm hitting it a little bit harder, but I'm getting a ton more misses.
Right. Yeah.
So I decided to just come back up, and it's the difference between hitting a home run, 400 feet and 410 feet. It's like, who cares? Still went 400.
Right. Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah. So I just came back up with the 3 and 3, and that worked out really well for me. I feel comfortable with that.
Okay. Yeah. Now, over the years, you've made some adjustments along the way. Again, what would you, if you looking back, is there one adjustment that you say that was probably the most profitable hitting adjustment I've made that kind of made me take a jump forward?
Yeah, I think that was just hitting for power,
Okay.
just being a masher and hitting the ball hard. When I came out of B-ball and my first year in the conference, I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to hit for power. There was no room for that at the B level for me to just swing away every time and lose all these. I mean, if I had gotten 5 at bats a game and hitting all 5 out, well, there's 5 out of our 8 home runs gone.
Right. Yeah.
So they're just not team swings. You can't do that at that level. So I came into the conference with high expectations of just playing the game and doing what I've always done to get me there. Pepper that right center gap, go down the right field line, and then when they shift, go 5-6 hole or come up the middle. I could always come through the middle really well. And so the team that I got on, they were kind of like yelling at me like, "You're the biggest guy in the team. Why are you trying to hit these holes and hit these lines and stuff? Just lose it, swing it." We got, I don't know how many home runs we got. I think we get 12 maybe at the A level or something. They're like, just lose it. Like, they're basically telling me like, that's why we picked you up, is so you yeah. So I'm like, oh crap, now I got to go home and get back on my tee and figure out how to hit a home run again. So but yeah, once I learned that though, hitting for power isn't just home runs. I mean, hitting for power is hitting the ball through guys when you're keeping the ball down. So I had never really known how to do that. I was always hitting holes and lines and gaps and hitting around guys or over guys.
Okay.
And now I'm either going to lose it or I'm going to hit it through you. So that's been the biggest adjustment that I've made. That's given me, the success at the conference. Because it, like for the majority of guys, if you don't hit the ball hard, you're going to have a really hard time getting a hit.
Okay. Yeah.
Those outfielders are blazing speed. They'll run everything down. And your infielders, best term I've ever heard was from Brian Zucker. He said those infielders are like ninjas out there. They literally are like ninjas.
Yeah.
Like, you don't blast the ball through the hole, they're going to get it.
Yeah.
So, it is. What a lot of people don't understand is it is so hard to actually get a hit in the conference between the professional pitchers that we have out here. Like, it's their job. That's what they do. They're paid to get you out. And between those ninjas in the infield and those gazelles in the outfield, it's just good luck getting a hit. So
yeah, interesting. So it was really just kind of being unleashed to just mash and that kind of
just open it up and free it up. It sounds like it's real easy to do, but it's kind of a hard adjustment to make if for years and years and years.
Right.
You've been a placement guy. You've been a gap guy. You've basically been a base hit guy, base hit and doubles.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you show up to a game, or you have a game, later in the day. Tell us a little bit about your pregame routine. Like, how do you prepare for a game?
Each year it's kind of evolved. a little differently as I kind of, you know, grow as a hitter and grow as a softball player and learn what works best for me. You know, traditionally in the past, I just kind of just do whatever the team does, and I'm just happy to be out here. I'm along for the ride. Just show up at BP, hit BP, and, you know, show up to the field and just play. But this past year, I've kind of figured out a lot of things that work well for me. I really like to play pepper before the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a good buddy on my Anarchy team this year who, man, he helped me get ready for every single game. My boy Wally, Walliford, Wallenfang, Wally's World. It's just all the. I know he's watching. I gotta give him a good shout out. So Wally's World, man, he would give me pepper before the game, and I just found like that helped me so much. I could actually show up to a game not hitting BP, but as long as I got my pepper in, I felt like I was good, like I was locked in. Because what I figured out is that, you know, hitting is mainly all vision, right? It's vision and muscle memory, whatever you've worked on. So if I'm seeing the ball well, then I'm hitting well.
Mm-hmm.
So before the game, if I'm getting pepper and I'm watching that ball come in, and all I'm trying to do is just connect my hands to the ball, you know, just trying to find the barrel. You'd be surprised you play pepper, and I'll try to tap a line drive right back to him every single time. We'll try to see if we can take a whole round of pepper without the ball hitting the ground or without me hitting over his head.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so it kind of becomes a little bit of a game, but yeah, so when I'm going out there and I'm seeing that ball coming, I'm just trying to tap it and find the barrel. If I can get, you know, 5 to 10 really good taps on my barrel where I'm squaring it up and spinning it right, boom, boom, boom. Okay, muscle memory, there I am. I'm locked in. I'm ready to go. Let's go, Wally. So we pack it up, and then we're going to play the game. So
yeah, I like it.
So play some pepper for a game. I strongly encourage pepper. That's a great way to get your vision down and get locked in.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I don't know when the last time it is I played pepper, so I'm gonna try that this year.
I see a ton of guys out there playing pepper, and it just like I just kind of think to myself what they're thinking when they're playing pepper. Like, why are they playing pepper? Majority of this might not be true, but majority of the time it looks like we're just playing around. I'm just trying to tap it to you, or even like the hitter is just trying to give the infielder some ground balls. Like not even working on hitting. That's what I see. But I could be wrong. But I just know for a fact that when I go to play pepper, it's with a specific purpose. Like I'm working on my vision. I'm trying to connect my eyes to my hands, and I'm trying to see if I'm locked in or not.
Yeah. I mean, when we used to play when I was younger, it was more just for fun, you know, just to pass the time. But I like that purposeful pepper.
Yep, purposeful.
I like it. What do you think? You know, you've kind of risen through the ranks, so and I'm sure you still see less experienced players playing nowadays. Are there any kind of mistakes that you see that you think are pretty common that you see, especially with like less experienced players?
As far as
that could be anything softball, offense, defense.
Are you saying like as them trying like a guy, a non-conference player who's trying to get into the conference,
or anything like actually like in the game? Like let's say there's something in defense that they just constantly do, and it's like, oh, if you would change this would you guys would actually give up less runs or something like that.
So like on an individual basis, you're talking
either
about?
Individual or team, either way.
I think team-wise, like a lot of things I just kind of have a mindset of a hitter. I like when I started out playing, I was playing the outfield, and then kind of transitioned to first base, and first base transitioned to catcher. So now I get to stand back there and I get to see everything. I get to see the game from a different angle than everybody else who was in front of the ball. And so, you know, I'll watch how hitters do things. I'll watch how defenses do things. One of the things I see, like for defense specific, is I think defenses try to do too much sometimes, and sometimes a pitcher might try to do too much pitching instead of just pitching to their defense. You know, at the conference level, the really good, the major teams and the teams who are really good, they know that for the most part, you may be able to steal a hit here and there, but you're not going to actually get someone out. Like they're going to get themselves out on a miss. So, as a pitcher, if you trust your defense, you're going to pitch to your shift. You're going to pitch there to where they're at. So you have the highest chance to get that out. So there's some guys that, when they're locked in and they're on, you're just not going to get them out. So it doesn't matter where you shift. So, but when you try to do too much and you're trying to make a guy hit it here or make him hit it there, it's like, just, you guys are shifted backside. There's your 5-man over there. Just pitch him outside, make him hit it backside and see what happens. So, I think sometimes defense pitchers might try to do a little too much. But hey, on the flip side, I could say batters might try to do too much as well.
Right. Yeah.
I think a lot of guys, especially, I did it myself, a guy who is trying to really push and work his way up and get to the major level. I feel like that I have to be able to do everything. I feel like I got to be able to hit the home run. I got to be able to hit the gap. I got to be able to hit the line, and I got to be able to hit the hole. So, so that's a lot. That's a lot to work on. That's a lot to be able to do. So I think a very common mistake would be that, guys try to do too much hitting. Yeah. Especially those guys who are placement guys. They're really trying to hit that hole, or they're really trying to hit that line. It's like, majority of the time it's slow pitch. It's underhand. So he's going to throw it in. It might be moving a little bit, but he's going to throw it in there. You're going to be able to hit it. So just hit it.
Yeah.
Don't do too much.
Yeah. So just try not to be too fancy with everything.
Yep. Don't think too much. Just hit it.
Yeah. That really goes along with what you were saying earlier about when you feel a slump coming on. It's like, stop thinking so much. So
exactly. Yes.
Cool. Well, just one more question. Tell us about, and I'm sure there might be, maybe I shouldn't say I'm sure. At least for me, I know there's common mistakes that I make. You probably less mistakes that you might make. But if there's a common mistake that you are kind of tempted towards just giving your swing or whatever, are there certain what is that common mistake, and then what have you done to try to limit that?
Okay, so I try to make all my mistakes in BP. I try to get them all out of my system before I get to the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what with my game right now, and my role on the team, to be that power guy and to be that guy who can hit your hard gap or hit your home run when you need it. That's obviously what I'm going to be training for. And so, like when if I have a bad tendency, if I'm starting to roll over the ball, that's usually the miss that I'm going to get. Especially if I'm hit a gap really hard, or if I'm trying to hit a home run, you tend to overswing. And so that's when my front shoulder will fly, or I might pull my eyes off the ball a little bit, because I'm trying to overswing. So that's when I'll get that rollover. I usually don't get too many pop-ups. My misses are rollovers and ground balls.
Okay.
Miss it. So, and it's usually a product of me just trying to overswing. So just make that quick adjustment. Just tell myself, don't overswing, or hey, let's go back to our bread and butter. Let's go backside. Let's hit a ball in the gap. Let's lose one in the right center. And then once I feel that, then I feel like I'm back again. So, but yeah, if I'm having an excessive amount of those, or if I'm seeing it happen more and more, like it's a bad habit starting to develop, that's exactly what I'll do. I'll go back home. I'll set that ball on the tee, and I'll try to work those kinks out.
Yeah.
If I had a weekend where I just could not hit the left center gap to save my life, that's all I'm doing when I go home. I'm gonna hit 100 balls, 200 balls a day off the tee in that left center gap until I get it down how I want it.
Yeah, I like it. So I feel like throughout the whole interview here, I feel like there's been two themes that have really come from you. Like regular tee work, you keep coming back to that. You really hammer that, and that's helped you out a ton. And then also just like not overthinking things, not trying to do too much. Do your tee work and go out and have fun, play the game. Don't get in your head. Don't try to do too much.
Yeah,
exactly. Full pitch ball coming in. Just go hit it.
Yeah. It's not that hard, right? after the whole first part of the interview, we talked about how hard it was to hit all these.
Yeah,
It's funny. It's like it's really not hard to hit it. But it's hard to hit it. It's hard to hit it and square it up consistently and do what you want with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool. There you have it. Thanks again for joining us, Brandon Streets. Again, here's the Anarchy Street. Oh, that's the U-Trip model there, then, huh?
The U-Trip here, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I'd strongly encourage anyone to get your hands on one of these. Great bat. You can check out Smash It Sports. I know last I checked, they had some of the U-Trip models. The ASA were already sold out, but fantastic if you can find them. That's Brandon Streets. Any final comment you want to leave with the softball world with?
Final comments. I'd say keep working, y'all. Keep working. Softball is a fun game. I've learned a lot from it, not just in softball, but in life as well. So, softball is amazing. Just keep working and keep reaping the benefits of your hard work.
Yeah, that's good. Well, congratulations again to a great season last year. Have a great one this year as well. And this is the Bat Hound. Everyone signing off. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and check out some other videos. Until next time.